Hey guys, so I want to talk about a few things that I'm irritated by. First, I want to address a video that I recently put out that got no views at all. I only got one like and a few views, and that's the problem I have. I noticed that every time you talk about things that's real important, you can't get nobody to like it. And it was talking about the economy, what's going on. Y'all don't be wanting to know nothing about that for some odd reason. And I noticed doomsday preppers, and they like to call us doom and gloom, but a lot of them that talk about, like, you got Tommy Bites, you got Full Spectrum, you got Canadian Prepper. They're like real popular ones on YouTube that talk about how you need to prepare. Those, they always complain about how you all do not like to tune into that, and I have found that to be a problem as well. Y'all should go back and look at that video because I had a lot of good info in there, and I also talked about, like, the so-called blacks, us being the real true biblical Israelites, and how it biblically ties in to our deliverance, and how the economy and the failing economy and everything, how it ties into us. It's really good. I put scriptures with it, and it's a very short clip. It's not like it's long, but and I notice also YouTube be messing with my views and how it gets out there because they're gonna slap a copyright on there, and I used a copyright editing platform, so I noticed certain like little background music, it gets you every time, even though they claim that it's copyrighted protected. But off of that, I also want to get on another subject that was irritating me too, concerning my own people. I just noticed, like, I agree with my other Israelite sister and brothers and Israelite family that we got an issue with we have an issue with unifying, just being united as a so-called black community or race, which we're not black. We're the true biblical Israelites. To get it where you can reach it, that's why I use that term. But and excuse my hair, I gotta retwist it. But anyways, I'm just really irritated with this because, like, we don't know how to unify, and we will look at each other like something is wrong with one another. Like, if we got introduced to each other, or we're talking to each other and we're having a good conversation, and we didn't know each other before, but then we come to a common ground where we talk about topics that we relate to, and we have a good talk and a conversation, or you just meet other so-called blacks out in the public that you didn't know. I'm explaining this to get to the point, so I don't be long-winded. I'm gonna digress there and then get to the point. The next day you see them, and they acting like they don't even know you from Adam Cat House. Like, of course they don't know you personally because y'all are not like actual, y'all didn't grow up as family, like actual immediate family members. But at the end of the day, we are family, but not all people that look like this are your family, or as far as, like, in regards, in the sake of unifying, like how you see other cultures and nations unify, even when they didn't grow up in the same household, you will see them unify, like the so-called Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Asians, and then you have the Chinese, Japanese, you have Arabs, you have, the list goes on, Indians, Native Americans. But when it comes down to the so-called black race, we have a issue with unifying. And when we see each other out there in the streets, we treat each other like we're criminals to one another. We shoot each other down in the streets. We murder each other. That's another major issue with our community. We murder each other in the streets. So then they look back, other nations, and they look back and they laugh at us like, oh, y'all trying to tell us about the so-called white race cops murdering you, but y'all murdering y'all own kind. And it's true. when you see each other out there on the street after you done talk to each other and you got acquainted, you'll sit there and treat your sister or brother like you don't know them. Walk right past them, turning your nose up at them like you got a problem with them when they ain't did nothing to you. That I have noticed in the so-called black race, especially so-called black women, like they will got acquainted with you, and then you see them the next day and they act like they don't even know you. And when I had that happen to me today, and when people do that, it gets under my skin to the point where I just walk past you and act like I don't even know you, because I'm not gonna keep speaking to you and then you act like you can't speak. And I know y'all have been in situations like that where you did nothing to someone and they don't know you personally, but you got acquainted with them, or you know them and you never did nothing to them. And then all of a sudden you see them the next day, or you walk past them out in public and they act like they don't even know you. They'll look right at you and keep walking, or they will look the other way when they see you coming and act like they don't even know you at all. When people do stuff like that, and especially when you see them in public after you then got acquainted, and you always go out of your way to speak, hey, good morning, or hey, good afternoon. You're always speaking, but they acting like they don't want to speak back. You get tired of that, and then that last time of you seeing them again, you start getting the no care attitude and start mimicking exactly what they're doing to you, and you just look the other way and act like you don't even see them and know them. And it's sad because our people are like that to one another. And I had experienced that this morning. And I got tired of speaking to this particular person, and I saw them again. And this time, I decided not to speak at all. I walked right past them, the same way they constantly continue to do me. And you never did nothing to this person because y'all don't know each other enough to have beef. You just simply had a real long good conversation out the blue. You know how you'll see your own kind out there, and then y'all will start talking about something out of the blue. Like you can be in a driver's license office or a doctor's office, and you see your own kind, and y'all just start talking about a particular topic. And let's say you go to a public place that is open Monday through Friday, and like a library, and the person worked there or something like that, and then you get acquainted with them. I'm talking about like a situation like that. And so you're always constantly seeing them because you constantly use the resources at the place that they work, and you had a real long conversation with them, personal, even touchy and personal topics and conversations. And let's say you had a long conversation with them and it ended well, and you got to introduce yourself to them, and then you see them the next day. The common thing to do is like speak like hey, like that. But I'm telling you, we are weird. We're funny acting. I act funny acting too, and I do it for a reason, because you run into shit like that. But anyways, guys, I'm just rambling about that situation. That as a so-called black race, we got to learn how to unify, and that's something that we don't have over the other nations. And that's why they always get ahead of us, including the punishment um, and the curse that has been put on my people for not obeying. I don't claim that curse because I'm doing to the best of my ability to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Now that I know the truth and know who I am, I do better. But if we continue to disobey and we don't want to obey, you'll see our people being cursed and us never being able to unify. But that's what I'm seeing: us killing each other out there in the streets. We not acknowledging one another. We don't speak to one another. We act like we don't know one another. We walk past each other like we don't know each other. And the reason why I'm a loner, or I stay away from loved ones or so-called friends that used to be friends, because of the shit that they do that cause me to separate. Like little shit like the person that I'm talking about, just an acquaintance person that I don't know very well, but the fact that you get acquainted with them, and then all of a sudden out of the blue they act like they don't know you. But if it was another nation and they got acquainted with one another, they wouldn't act like that. The next day when they see each other, they'll be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like that. Okay, that's good. Or like every day, we know that it's not gonna be that same thing, but like, "Good morning, how you doing?" Good. Like that. It's gonna be the same energy every time, not changing up. But us, we change up the next day. We act like we don't even know each other, like we're enemy to each other, and that is a problem. Is a black race. It's a so-called black race. And we're not a black race, but just for the sake of the term, for others that don't know that we are Israelites, that's who I'm speaking to a broad audience. But anyways, guys, just wanted to share that with you guys. We have a major problem with unifying.